Okay, let's go to text A. So as you already know, text A is for your comprehension questions. Now let's look at it. So this text is about a mysterious ancient city in Ecuador that appears once to have been occupied by giants. So let's go through the question together. This part of the question, first part, we read paragraph 1 from Ecuadorian legends tell in the area. Give 2 reasons why locals believe an ancient race of giants once existed according to the text. So we are looking for 2 explicit ideas here. Let's go to the text and double check. All right. The first part, as you can see, is bulleted question. So as I told you guys on Sunday, bulleted question, you are not expected and not required to answer in full sentences. So let's go to the part where it tells us about why locals believe ancient race of giants once existed. 2 explicit ideas. So what do we have here? Paragraph 1, we have this part that tells us Ecuadorian legends tell of an ancient city of giants. So perhaps this could be one. And what else? Tribes. Okay, tribes from all over the Amazonian basin recollect the existence. So that will be enough for your 1 mark. It's just here. So we're just going to put that down here very quickly. Okay, I hope you guys are able to pick that up. Imagine you are having your exam. So tribes from all over the Amazonian basin. Okay, now let's look at part B very quickly. Part B, now the B strand will be slightly more difficult, but not too difficult if you approach it correctly. This is the first question that states that you have to use your own words and you have to explain what each phrase means within the given context. So the first strand, you can see 2 words here, isn't it? Thriving and cities. I would prefer you guys to just explain the whole phrase, which means writing like a short sentence here, okay? Whatever the case, you cannot use the original words here. For example, you are not allowed to use the word thriving and you are not allowed to use the word cities here. So thriving very much means successful or flourishing. And cities can be community. So I'm just going to put perhaps a flourishing community. That will be enough because I have explained both the words here. I have explained thriving and I have explained cities. Then let's look at the second strand for B. It says ancient structures. Some of you might be tempted to just write old building because ancient kind of seems like it means old. But your examiner might be and can be quite picky in terms of questions like this. So I would suggest and prefer you not to use such a basic word like old building. I'm going to put perhaps ancient as antique or, all right, it can mean antique, but in this context, it doesn't quite make sense if we use antique to replace the word ancient. So think about ancient structure. The ancient here is perhaps referring to long time ago. So what do we call that? Can we say before the civilization or early civilization? So perhaps that's what I'm gonna say, early civilization, which refers to the word ancient here. And what about structure? Just gonna use building, architecture, early civilization. You can say architecture of the early civilization. That works. Or we can say the buildings from early civilization. Historical. Okay, you can use historical as well. Check. Part B here gives you 4 marks. Now really make sure that you are able to get this right. Otherwise, you're just waving goodbye to 4 easy marks here. So let's look at part C right now. Reread paragraph 3 from the largest structure is to build them. Give 2 reasons why it might be assumed that the giants work hard. Again, we have 2 bullets here. So you are not expected and not required to write in full sentences. Well, this question is again assessing your understanding of explicit ideas, just like part A. So you can find 2 relevant ideas from your text above. Here, the skills that you really want to develop, right, guys? For this kind of question is your skimming and scanning skills, because you need to be able to look for the relevant ideas quite quickly rather than rereading the text 2 or 3 times, okay? We are looking for information which suggests the giants work really hard here. So let's look at the passage. Okay, we read paragraph 3, right? So we're going to go to paragraph 3. Now, perhaps I will be drawn to hundreds of huge boulders. I'm certainly going to use this one for my first bullet, and perhaps the oversized tools that they use. So I'm going to mention that the tools seem to suggest that they work hard. Also, guys, please remember to look at the marks and the bracket. It says 2 marks here. So obviously, if there's 1 mark, that means you need to give like 1 idea. And if there's 2 marks, that means you need 2 ideas. I'm just gonna write it down here. Because it says give 2 reasons and I'm only supposed to find my explicit ideas. So I'm just gonna write it down very quickly. Hundreds of huge folders, and also the tools that they use were oversized.